Hey guys, welcome back to another JavaScript tutorial, and in this tutorial I'm going to be explaining how to use classes in JavaScript. So classes in JavaScript, although it's not an object-oriented language, you can still use classes, and they're actually quite useful, especially when working on large projects where you want to be able to separate out components, or not components, where you want to be able to separate out logic into different entities to make it a bit easier to understand. So yeah, that's basically object-oriented programming in a second, but yeah. So what I'm going to show you guys is how to initialize a basic class in JavaScript and then how to use it in your code. So let's just link in our script.js, close this, now we can find our classes over here. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is just create a class. It's very simple, just use a class keyword and then just follow it by your class name. So let's just say we want to create a person class, and now we have this. So let's just define a few attributes first. So let's say we want the person to have a name, we want them to have an age, and we can also have gender or something like that. So now what you can do is, in TypeScript, what you would do is you write name like this and then initialize it with a value like that, but you'll see that's going to give us a error. If we try and do this, we can do things like this, and that works. Like now I can access something like person.name, something like that. But the better way to do it in JavaScript is actually to do it in the init function. So what the init function is basically the function which is run whenever you initialize a new object of a class, and in JavaScript that's the constructor constructor function. So this was going to be run every time we create a new instance of this person class, and what we can do is we can use the this keyword, which refers to anything inside this class object, this.name, and then we can initialize it as nothing for now, this.age, and we'll just initialize this to 0, and this.gender, well, we don't know what that is, so we'll just leave it like this. So now what you might be wondering is, of course, you can take in arguments like this. Let's say we want to take in a name, age, and gender. Then we can just initialize them like that. Okay, so that's pretty simple. Now let's test out our new person class which we just created. Let's say const person1 is equal to, and you need to use the new keyword when you're trying to make an instance of this, and just see this actually takes in the arguments which you defined up here. So let's just create aria, which is 100, and male, like so. So now it's pretty similar to an object, really. If I print this out, print console.log, like so, we'll see we get the person object, and you can see that's literally what we've just defined here. So it's pretty easy to work with, but the main advantage of classes is, of course, storing logic and data inside of them. So we've already got the data part with this, now we can store the logic with more functions. So let's say we want to make a function which is going to make this person say hello. Well, what we can do to define a function is, normally you define a function like this, and then let's say we want to say hello, something like this, but in class it's a little different. All we do is we literally just type out the function name, follow it with 2 brackets, and then we just open it like this. So now we can take in the arguments here. This isn't going to have any, and we can now just run this like a regular function. So let's just console.log this.name says hello. So now let's run our function. We've got our person, and let's say hello, and you can see we've just run the function like that. So yeah, that's basically it for classes. JavaScript does actually support extendability through, let's say you want to create I don't know, what's a child of a person. I mean, we could just do something like let's say we had some kind of programmer like that. So this is going to be a subclass of person, and you can create subclasses using the extend keyword. and now we can actually extend this. So this is going to have all of the things of this, so we can do this, but you'll notice if we want to have the constructor thing, we're actually going to want to leave that like that, and we're actually going to want to do something like super dot just want to initialize the super like that. I believe that's how you do it, although I could be mistaken. I think you have to take it in like this, and then you can initialize the super like that. Basically what this is going to do is it's going to call the main person's constructor from here. So let's test this. Const programmer1 is equal to new programmer, and we'll just pass in programmer name 200, and let's just play it mail again. So now if we can console.log this programmer, we're going to see we get our things just like that, and you'll see it has all of the properties of the original class, but we can now extend it with something like the new function. Let's say code something, and we can console.log a special message saying programmer this dot name coded something random like that. And now notice how we have access to all of the functions from here and here. That's how inheritance works. And now because our programmer name is programmer name, we get programmer name coded something random, just like that. So yeah, that's basically all there is to classes in JavaScript. They work pretty similar to every other language, and yeah, this is how you do inheritance. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in a future tutorial. Bye.